Well, right now, NASA is working to launch their first crewed lunar flyby mission in 50 years. And we've learned a Forceman doctor is part of ensuring the health and safety of those building the rocket.
It's really great to be a part of this. KNWA's Lauren Motley shares how her work is impacting that project.
It's amazing, and I never dreamed it was actually going to turn into all of this. It's just jaw-dropping what is in the future for our space program and for NASA.
Between 22 years in the Army, a wall of degrees and certifications, and founding her own clinic, Dr. Kelly Linton has quite the resume.
I'm a clinical audiologist, and I specialize in hearing and balance disorders and anything with the ear. We're kind of ear and hearing doctors.
Little did she know that experience would lead to the opportunity of a lifetime.
I'm also an audiologist in the Army. Noise measurements, noise management, soldier protection, as well as employee protection has been my area of focus in my career. And that's how I got involved with NASA.
NASA sent Dr. Linton an email searching for an audiologist to be a part of Artemis, a space exploration project with the end goal of exploring more of the moon in hopes of one day putting people on Mars.
The plan is to make sure that the moon is possibly going to be a sustainable place for us to build infrastructure eventually and to actually grow crops and have people living there, which will eventually lead to hoping that the moon will be kind of a launch pad onto Mars.
Since being hired on in 2019, Dr. Linton has been using her expertise to help those building the Artemis rocket and the Orion stay safe throughout the process.
Those employees, as you can imagine, are exposed to some noise, quite a bit of noise. So I review their test each year and give recommendations as to what needs to be done. If they need to make some changes in the noise or if they need to make some changes in the hearing protection, things like that.
Helping ensure the missions stay on schedule.
If for some reason they weren't able to protect those employees, then they would have to pull them off the line. And it potentially could stop the production of that part of the rocket and certainly throw things behind.
And while there's still a lot of work ahead for the Artemis team, Dr. Linton says that she's excited to be a part of the project's future.
They have it projected up to Artemis 5, Artemis 6, so there's several rocket projections into the future. If everything gets fulfilled, it's going to be something that's amazing to be a part of.
It's Lauren Motley reporting NASA is planning to launch the Artemis 2 later this year.